It is Saturday morning cartoons, the first Saturday morning cartoons of August 2024. Uh, let's hope there'll be an August Saturday morning cartoons in 25 too. The world is going absolutely mad. Uh, at least we have each other, don't we? Anyway. I've been bombarded with synchronicities in my planning and preparation, such as it is, for these morning get-togethers, and to show you the almost schizophrenic chain reaction of thoughts tumbling one into another. That is the Cabalistic madness of illumination, if you want to call it that. Yesterday, okay, and this might have happened to you on Facebook. Somebody creates somehow or other, somebody created a Lon Milo DuQuette Facebook page, complete with my picture, profile picture, and everything else, and was contacting my friends list or the whatever list, contacting my Facebook listeners at least, and saying, "Hi, you can contact me directly here at," and it gives them that new Facebook number, which is totally illegal, bad, horrible, insane, and I'm sure worthy of the most hideous curses that a lesser magician might be tempted to hurl their way. But I warned everybody on Facebook. I said, "Look, if you get a thing like this, it's not me. You know, I've got a verified little blue check mark thing by my name, and I've got." If you go there and see that they've only got no friends yet on their list, and I've got 5,000 on my list, but it's not me. Okay, I think it's taken care of. I think at least 50 of you reported it. I reported it. Everybody reported it, and it doesn't seem to be an issue this morning. But, and here comes the schizophrenic chain reaction of thought. Because it's Saturday morning cartoons, I always think of my favorite Saturday morning cartoon from the 1950s, when the Saturday morning children's programming would show old Popeye cartoons. Now, this morning on Facebook, I posted a YouTube link to one of my favorite ones that I never saw as a kid in color because we only had black and white TV in those days. That Sinbad the Sailor, Popeye the Sailor with Sinbad the Sailor. And it's a movie. It's beautiful. It's got music and all of that. So there's a really old Popeye cartoon where Wimpy, the guy that's always mooching hamburgers from Popeye, Wimpy puts on a very believable Popeye costume. He morphs into Popeye, just like the person morphed into my Facebook page. And there was an argument, and I was following the conversation yesterday. People say, "Well, how do I know it's you that's telling me that it's you? How do I know which one is you? how do I know you're not the one and you're trying to screw Lon up, And there's a old Popeye cartoon where Wimpy, putting on Popeye's costume, impersonates Popeye and starts to fool people who think he's Popeye. And Popeye and him come face to face. And Popeye says, I'm Popeye. And Wimpy says, I'm Popeye. And he said, no, I'm Popeye. He said, no, I'm Popeye. And then Wimpy says, is there not one Washington? And Popeye goes, yes. Is there not but one Lincoln? Popeye says, yes. Is there not one Popeye? Yes. That settles it. I'm Popeye. Okay, and it's sort of a duality thing like that. Okay, here comes the chain reaction of thought. Pop-I is an interesting word. You could almost interpret it as the eye or the vision of pop. Told you it was going to get crazy. Pop is an Enochian Aether. Which one is it here? It's the 19th Enochian Aether. It's a full-blown magical heaven. And there's a vision. There's a vision of pop in it. It's a very short one. I'm gonna share Crowley's vision with you this morning. But the pop itself, there is a difference between Enochian magic, Kabbalah, if you will, and sort of regular Hermetic Hebrew Kabbalah. The letters P-O-P in Enochian are actually the Enochian equivalent to Tet or T, Lamed, L, Tet. So it'd be Leo, Libra, Leo. And so visions of those particular aethers, Crowley would sort of jumpstart the procession of images with the knowledge of we've got this Leo going into Libra, balanced by Libra back into another Leo kind of thing. And so the whole idea of the magical mechanism of that vision is sort of dictated by the name of the Aether itself, in this case, pop. But Cabalistic, and that would add up to 48 in Hebrew, pop. And I, that's the vision thing going. Okay. But in Hebrew, pop, pay, and we might say oyin, pay, adds up to 230, and 230 has its own, let's see, what do I got here? It's got its own thing. 230 is the word for astonishment and the word for hand. The astonishing hand. It could be Popeye's, okay. But in Hebrew, of course, Hebrew doesn't really need vowel sounds because it doesn't technically have vowels. So to say pop, you just spell it pay. Okay, that's the Hebrew pay there, and it adds up to 80. Oh, that pig is Constance's little note she left me. Okay. And pay, pay. A pay could be pronounced pa or pay or pe or p or pie or jai even or yai or I mean pie. Okay. Anyway, there's a lot of ways. The letter P can sound like pay or P or pie or po or pow or poo. If there is a Hebrew word spelled PP, and that would be pop, it might be pronounced pap or pape or peep or pipe. Popeye has a pipe. Or pip or poop or pop or pope or pup or papa or pappy. Popeye had a pappy. Or Popeye, or pee-pee, or poo-poo. Okay. That being said, I looked up all sorts of other Cabalistic things and played with it today for Popeye. All of this is just to lead up to why I'm going to share with you Crowley's vision in Enochian induced magical vision marching across the North African Sahara with Victor Newberg, falling down on his face 1,001 times a day, saying the Arabic mantra of unity, and then frying his brains out and doing the Enochian call, was the call of the 30 Aethers. And here's the vision he got. The cry of the 19th Aether called Pop. And as you can see, we've got the Enochian letter right there in the middle. We've got Leo. Actually, it is Libra and Leo. You'll see that in the footnote there. Leo, Libra, Leo. Okay. At first, there is a black web over the face of the stone. He's got a cross, a wooden cross device, which got a large topaz in it, faceted topaz. And after he does the call, after they do all their ceremonial preparations, he holds that cross, that topaz, to his forehead. And sometimes it becomes painfully hard as he tries to push the vision in. At first there is a black web over the face of the stone. A ray of light pierces it from behind and above. Then cometh a black cross. Now in the Golden Dawn, the hegemon or your guide or your surrogate holy guardian angel officer wears a black cross, reaching across the whole stone. Then a golden cross, not so large. And there is a writing in an arc that spans the cross, in an alphabet in which the letters are all formed of little daggers, cross-hilted, differently arranged. Pretty cool. And the writing is, he's interpreting it, worship in the body, the things of the body. Worship in the mind, the things of the mind. Worship in the spirit, the things of the spirit. And Crowley has a footnote to this that he wrote later. Worship all things, for all things are alike necessary to the being of all. But keep separate the planes. Failure to do this is the most frequent cause of error. And if you've ever encountered somebody that is so magically obsessed with the magic part of their life that they totally forget they have other responsibilities in their incarnation besides just, well, you'll know what I mean. This holy alphabet must be written by sinners, that is, by those who are impure. And the footnote says, for purity means full simplification and keeping of each idea in its own true perfection, separate from all others. Then here's back in the vision. Impure means those whose every thought is followed by another thought, or who confuse the higher with the lower, the substance with the shadow. Every Aether, and there's 30 of them, every Aether is truth, though it be but a shadow. For the shadow of a man is not the shadow of an ape. And his footnote says, worship a thing in itself for its own sake, not inventing ideas. Then he puts a note within the thing here. Note, all of this has come to me without a voice, without a vision, without a thought. It just came to him. Not all of his Aether visions have things like that going on. I mean, this just came to him, and he says, "Oh my God, there's a web over the stone," and then all of this he just thought. He was inspired to think this. The shoe stone is pressed upon my forehead and causes intense pain as I go from Aether to Aether. It seems more difficult to open each Aether. And this is the 19th. Okay, so he's about a little over halfway through, or a little less than halfway through. The golden cross has become a little narrow door, and an old man like the hermit of the tarot has opened it and come out. I ask him for admission, and he shakes his head kindly and says, "It is not given to flesh and blood to unveil the mysteries of the Aether, for therein are chariots of fire, and the tumult of the horseman who entereth here may never look on life again with equal eyes. I insist." The little gate is guarded by a great green dragon, and now the whole wall is suddenly fallen away, and there is a blaze of the chariots and the horsemen. Furious battle is raging. One hears nothing but the clash of steel and the neighing of the chargers and the shrieks of the wounded. 1,000 fall at every encounter and are trampled underfoot, yet the Aether is always full. There are infinite reserves. No, that is all wrong, for this is not a battle between two forces, but a melee, in which each warrior fights for himself against all others. I cannot see one who has even one ally. And the least fortunate who fall soonest are those in the chariots. For as soon as they are engaged in fighting, their own charioteers stab them in the back. Now, the footnote says, this seems to be a vision of the ideas which the alphabet of daggers is to analyze. The confusion suggests the influence of Coronzone, that is the demon of the abyss. It is a warning of what the aspirant must expect if once he lose his grip on Bina, or number 3, master of the temple, above the abyss. And in the midst of the battlefield there is a great tree, like a sinar tree, very sacred in China. It bears fruits, and now all the warriors are dead, and they are the ripe fruits that are fallen. The ground is covered with them. There is a laugh in my right ear. This is the tree of life. And now there is a mighty god, Sebek, with the head of a crocodile. His head is gray like river mud, and his jaws filled with the whole air. And he crunches up the whole tree and the ground and everything. Now then, at last, cometh forth the angel of the Aether, who is like the angel of the 14th key of the rota. Okay, that is the angel in the temperance card or the art card. With beautiful blue wings, blue robes, the sun in her girdle like a brooch, and the 2 crescents of the moon shapen into sandals for her feet, and her hair is flowing gold, each sparkle as a star. And her hands are the touch of Penelope and the cup of Circe. She comes and kisses me on the mouth and says, Blessed art thou who hast beheld Sebek, my lord, in his glory. Many are the champions of life, but all are unhorsed by the lance of death. Many are the children of the light, but their eyes shall all be put out by the mother of darkness. Many are the servants of love, but love that is not quenched by aught but love shall be put out. As the child taketh the wick of a taper between his thumb and finger, by the God that sitteth alone, I'll repeat that again because it rolls into a long idea. Many are the servants of love, but love that is not quenched by aught but love shall be put out as the child taketh the wick of a taper between his thumb and finger by the God that sitteth alone. And on her mouth, like a chrysanthemum of radiant light, is the kiss, and on it is the monogram IHS. The letters IHS mean in homini salus instar hominos summum, and imago hominos Deus. Okay, in man is health, and the highest is the likeness of man, and God is the image of man. And there are many other meanings, but they all imply this one thing, that nothing is of any importance but man. There is no hope or help but in man. Man is the candidate. He partakes of the truth of all the gods initiating, is the footnote. And she says, Sweet are my kisses, O wayfarer that wanderest from star to star. Sweet are my kisses, O householder that weariest within 4 walls. Thou art pent within thy brain, and my shaft pierceth it, and thou art free. Thine imagination eateth up the universe as a dragon that eateth up the moon, and in my shaft is It is concentrated and bound up. See how all around thee gather my warriors, strong knights in goodly armor ready for war. Look upon my crown. It is above the stars. Behold the glow and blush thereof. Upon thy cheek is the breeze that stirs those plumes of truth. For though I am the angel of the 14th key, I am also the angel of the 8th key. And in this case, that's the goddess Justice. The Libra in the middle of Pop. Also the Fool's girlfriend. And from above, and from the love of these two have I come, who am the warden of, and it's spelled here, in this case, Poupée. Now, he says, in other words, the example, this Aether Pop, translated using the Golden Dawn method, or in other words, they add a vowel sound to the end of a consonant to make it sound, oh, I don't know, Italian. For I am the warden of Pop. Or, as Lon says, Pope or Peep or Pipe or Poo-poo or Poo-poo. Okay. And the servant of them that dwell therein. Though all crowns fall, mine shall not fall, for my plumes reach up unto the knees of him that sitteth upon the holy throne, and liveth and reigneth for ever and ever as the balance of righteousness and truth. I am the angel of the moon. I am the veiled one that sitteth between the pillars, veiled with a shining veil, and upon my lap is the open book of the mysteries of ineffable light. You recognize the high priestess. I am the aspiration unto the highest. I am the love of the unknown. I am the blind ache within the heart of man. I am the minister of the sacrament of pain. I swing the censer of worship. I sprinkle the waters of purification. I am the daughter of the house of the invisible. I am the priestess of the silver star, which is it's the title of the High Priestess card, but it's also the Goddess of the Star card. As she catches me up to her, as a mother catches her babe and holds me up in her left arm, that's the sign of Mater Triumphant, okay? And sets my lips to her breast, and upon her breast is written, Rosa Mundi est Lilium Caeli. You'll always excuse my Latin, won't you? This woman is not the fish of all men. Fish, Pisces equals fish, Nun means fish, Kuf, the sign of Pisces, the versicle means she is not attained by all men. And I look down upon the open book of the mysteries, and it is open at the page on which is the holy table, with the 12 squares in the midst. It radiates a blaze of light, too dazzling to make out the characters. And a voice says, Non hec piscis hominum. And that's she is not attained by all men. And the other Latin phrase that I didn't translate was the Rosamundi. The rose of the world is the lily of heaven. In other words, Malkuth is Bina. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to. As to the I'm skipping over a little something there. Uh, as to the holy table itself, I cannot see it for the blazing of light, but I am given to understand that it appears in another aether of which it forms practically the whole content. And I am bidden to study the holy table very intently, so as to be able to concentrate on it when it appears. I have grown greater, so that I am as great as the angel. And we are standing as if crucified, face to face, our hands and lips and breasts and knees and feet together. And her eyes pierce into my eyes like whirling shafts of steel, so that I fall backwards, headlong through the aether. And there is suddenly a tremendous shout, absolutely stunning, cold and brutal. Osiris was a black god. And the aether claps its hands greater than the peal of 1,000 mighty thunders. And I am back. That happened on the desert, Bawasada, November 30th, 1909, between 10 and 11:45 p.m. If you do not have a vision in the voice, okay, it's published in lots of places. I helped curate and edit 3 little volumes called the Best of the Equinox series for the good folks at Weiser. And the vision in the voice is in the volume that is Enochian Magic. So that's it for today. We've gone a bit over. Constance is back from her bicycle ride. What is that you had in your hand? Was that a soccer ball? Oh, please, darling. Was that a soccer ball you had in your hand, or are you just happy to see me?
No, someone had has a free produce stand on their garden. It was a cantaloupe, but we'll see how it is.
Okay. We've been watching what we can of the Olympics, so I thought you
Yes,
had.
I got back in time to do all my useless work for the day.
So there we are. Aimless what?
Fruitless love and aimless toil. It awaits me.
She sounds like it.
Me. I have to go now.
She sounds like one of those Enochian vision angels with.
But I don't look like.
No. Anyway, that's it for today. We'll see you tomorrow for Sunday school. And enjoy the Popeye cartoon that I put up. Until tomorrow, continue to be good to yourself, be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. The proper answer is?
Love is the law, love under will.
Okay, that's it. We'll see you tomorrow.